We have some questions here. I'll dive into the first one, and we'll just kind of see where it takes us. But
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, we had a question which ties right into social media, which works out perfectly because we're live on Facebook right now. This came from Wendy Borsos. Asks, how can you avoid romance or investment scams? And I guess this could be for any kind of scams on Facebook or any social media, similar to fake and scam profiles on Facebook. That is how so many scams start. I get emails every single day from people saying, I'm talking to so and so, I'm talking to Elon Musk, but it ended up being fake. So, how can you decipher those as fake or scams, especially for people like Wendy saying, I'm getting friend requests from strange Facebook accounts every single day?
Yeah. Well, I think that we need to start with the basics. Just don't talk to strangers. It's like the same thing our parents told us when we were young. It goes today as well. And specifically in Facebook, it's a social platform. It's a way to communicate with people you met in the past. But once you get those different kind of profiles, you don't even know who those people are, and they start to suggest some free products or some other romance-related issues. You need to stop in this moment because there is nothing like that in the real world. It's all scams, basically. I guess 99.9% of those are scams. So this is like the basics. But again, if you want to make sure, before you create any kind of communicating back, don't answer those people. Don't approve their friend request. Check first. Go to the profile. Look when it was created. Look who other friends are. What kind of posts they share to the world. Are those the same post, same language? Does the language change in the middle of the post, or the subject changes? We see many profiles that are newly generated and used for those scams, but also profiles that were hijacked from real people, which is another issue. We can talk about it later. But those profiles are used to create comments on sponsored posts and stuff like that, or even fake news, but also to communicate to victims in Facebook. So you need to check to see if those profiles look genuine, if they are using the same language, same type of posts, they have friends, they were not created a few days ago. And by the way, if you are talking about pages in Facebook, a good place to start is Facebook. They have this feature that called transparency. You can go to the page, go to transparency information, and see all the information about this page, specifically when it was created. Does it use ads, and what kind of ads? And who is the admin of the page? And in most cases, you will see those fake pages with admins from all around the world, and especially in the Far East, they are very good in this. And also you can see if the name or the title of the page was changed because it was hijacked again. So those are the few tips, but basically just don't talk to strangers. Use it to talk to your friends and
Right.
family. You can use other platforms as well, but again, if you want Facebook, do it, but talk with people you know.
Since we already, sorry, Ash, since we're already talking about Facebook, and we start our first question about Facebook and profiles and pictures, well, I have follow-up question for you, Nati. Social media photos privacy issues. Does Facebook have the rights to any photos you upload to social media? Those pictures belongs to us, or Facebook can do whatever they want with the pictures if you have logged in and you created profile on Facebook account?
Yeah, well, Facebook also use this term. It's complicated. You remember this term from the relationship status? But it's also
Complicated.
quite complicated here as well, because basically once you upload a picture to Facebook, you still have all the rights for this picture, but
Okay.
you do allow Facebook and their affiliates to use this picture for like vague actions that are regarding advertisement, things that are stayed in the platform and stuff like that. This is for the first part. But again, because the picture is available to everyone can just download it and use it as their own profile picture, or use it in any other place.
Yeah.
Again, it's basically it's not legal. You can legally pursue those people. But who are those people? This is the big issue with the internet. You have a
Right.
profile that was created yesterday using your picture. What can you do about it? You can report to Facebook, but I guess they have like millions of those reports on a daily basis, and it will take time for them to take actions. But again, the picture is out there and everybody can use it legally or not legally. It's an issue of if you can do something about it. So
Right.
just be careful. If you want to share pictures, it's fine. I would suggest do this only for your friends or connections in those social networks, not to the entire world. And if you have pictures of yourself or your kids, maybe it's not a good thing to just share it all
What about
around.
what about
Very
those
true.
when you see those annoying like trends where people will have copy and pasted a post and they say, "Oh, if you copy and paste this post, it tells Facebook that you're not giving them any permission to use your images," and it's like it's not real, but like it's like a thing where they're getting more and more people to copy and paste it to like it's annoying to see people falling for it, but like do you know like why that happens or what they're trying to achieve by doing that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
And of course, I guess there are many types of mini scams like this. Basically, when you do scammers or page owners are looking for ways to get more reputation, more clicks,
Right.
more likes, because in the end of it, if you have a reputable page, you can resell it to other sponsors. They will advertise with this page. And to get those clicks, they are doing anything possible. And in this case, people are aware of the privacy issue and they know they are aware of it. So they like suggest a solution, which is of course not true, just to make you post and link and like, etc. So like all those pages that just share our page or like our page and you win a free bicycle or a free crate from Amazon or from AliExpress and stuff like that. Those are like machines, basically. They are trying to get traffic to their page, make it more reputable, make it more successful, and later on monetize on top of that.
We got an email from literally today, like minutes before we started this stream. I was emailing with a guy, and this guy works at Walmart in a different part of the U.S., but he is one of the managers, and he emailed me, and he said that he had a customer come in. Her name is Cindy. She was trying to return a phone or something, and he got to talking to her about music, and she happened to say, "Yeah, you know, I love Luke Bryan, the musician. He's been talking to me on Facebook." And it hit a red flag in his head, and he started asking more questions. It turns out that she's been talking to a scammer pretending to be Luke Bryan on Facebook for a long time, and she has sent tens of thousands of dollars. He's opened bank accounts in her name. She's sent phones and computers in the mail. Like she has, unfortunately, succumbed to this entire scheme, thinking until this Walmart manager intervened, thinking she's talking to the real musician Luke Bryan, and it all started from a fake Facebook page of Luke Bryan, which is heartbreaking, but it's probably just like you said. It's like she probably didn't take the time to go to the transparency or whatever it was to see who and what this really was. And
Exactly. This kind of scam is what we call pig butchering, and become quite popular in the last few years. And those scammers are really working on it. They are starting a conversation and they are really into it. It takes months and months to regain this reputation again, making the victim understand or think that they understand this is the real deal, this is the real person, and later on using this to scam them more, get their money, get other stuff. Really frustrating.
what
And
do they
also,
call
I
it?
personally,
Oh, you go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was personally noticed by confronting so many cash mules and talking to so many victims. Last year, this year, we went to Palm Spring and we came across a few military women, and they were in this fake relationship with a Roman scammer. And I said, "How did you get approached?" And she said, "Well, I got friend request on Facebook." And I asked, "What do you have? What kind of information do you have on your Facebook?" And she said, "I have everything. The school I go to, the work way of working, that I'm in military. So it's very also important, like as a prevent something in the future that we talk about. It's like privacy, that information about your kids, where do you live. Like you don't need to tell the world everything about you because you're becoming easy target.
It's
Exactly.
you see it on people's cars. They put stickers on the window, on the back window, of how many kids they have, the little stick figures, and then they put a bumper sticker that says what my student is an honor student at so and so school, and then you have a
Right.
logo for the soccer team that they play on. So anyone following you in traffic can figure out your schedule and when you're not home, and they can go rob your house. Like it's the same exact concept online. It's just a different approach, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Take this
Yeah.
from by the way, from the army lingo. This is what we call open source intelligence, or OSINT, because you share with the world everything about you. And if the people that want to scam you, want to rob you, have this information, they can really create the perfect scheme to rob you, to get what they want from you, and to act like they know you, but they don't really know you. So we really need to be more private about our data.
Before we
Absolutely.
get into data leaks, the question I wanted to ask before it just came to my mind. Why do they call it pig butchering? Because you brought it up, and we've been looking into it a lot. It's somewhat new to us, but it's a new trend. Obviously, it doesn't have to do with actual pigs. It's about crypto scams and stuff. But I
Yeah.
just, why the hell do they call it pig butchering? Because at the onset you think of something totally different.
I'm not sure exactly why they're using this term. I guess it has something to do again with butchering and all the vegans that in our crowd. I'm sorry, but again, it's because the process is very, very slow, I guess, and you take part by part, and this is what those scammers are doing. They start easy, they approach you, and everything is fine, everything is okay. They say exactly what you want them to say, and then slowly they start requesting stuff. At first, it was like, if you can share some money for something small, and later on I have a problem and I need you to sign on those papers for me, if that's okay. And at the end of it, you realize that you lost a fortune in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to remind us and every single person who is watching us, first of all, thank you for being here. Make sure you like it and be active. Leave a comment below, because if you're active, you have a chance to win Trilogy and Guardio merch.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the Guardio page, who is commenting on this chat right now, is going to be doing some Guardio merch giveaways. They're also pasting the link to try Guardio for free for 7 days, 20% off by using our link with Trilogy, guard.io/Trilogy. If you watch our channel, you've heard us say that a million times. But this stream right now is like, whether you have Guardio or not, like, use this opportunity to educate yourself about this kind of stuff. This is free, valuable information from the main guy that knows exactly what he's doing. And that you did almost kind of segue. I wanted to segue into the data leaks topic, because it's only becoming more and more of an issue for us, for the general population. I just got the information that I was leaked in the Ticketmaster thing just a few days ago. MGM, AT&T art got hit on. Like, it's constant.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people asked about data leaks, but this one particular was from Heather Michelle. What types of data leaks are there? Like, what is a combo list? What is a hidden one? What is a company one? And what do you do if you get notified? Guardio notifies you, and Guardio will tell you what to do within the app. But on the broader scale, what should someone do if they're in a data leak? Because people ask us all the time, can I remove myself from this data leak? What do you do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's talk about the sources for these data leaks, where they come from, where those people or the general public get this data from. So there are many ways to get this data. The most, I think, the popular and known of is data breaches for companies that we have accounts in, like AT&T, like lately with Ticketmaster. And once those companies are being breached by hackers, those hackers can do one of the few things. They can just go up and sell this data to the highest bidder, like Ticketmaster is trying to do with $500,000, I guess, something like that. Or they can just post it to the public. And once this data is out, everybody can get it, even if it was bought for one company of hackers that are using it. Eventually, this data will leak out. So if a company is breached, you need to realize that your data is breached as well. And another way to get your data leaked is specifically out from your computer or your mobile phone. If you install a malicious software, a malicious app on your phone, or even a malicious extension to your browser, those kind of threats are the most important thing for them is to monetize, and they monetize on your data. They can leak your name, your email, your passwords from your browser, even get your cookie sessions, cookie hijacking, as we call it, and hijack your social accounts entirely, even without your password or 2FA or stuff like that. So those are the sources for those leaks. And once your data is being leaked, posted online on the dark web, or sold to the highest bidder, this is where you need to act. And by the way, Heather asked about what is a combo list. Combo list is like a list of many past leaks that are combined together and again posted on some forum on the dark web. This is what usually happens. And there are many companies in the world. Guardio does that as well. We are monitoring those dark networks and trying to figure out what data is being leaked and then trying to correlate with our users. So once we see something that was leaked, we immediately notify our users and again, tell them what to do, how to hack. In many cases, if your password is leaked, of course, you need to change your password as soon as possible. But also, if your phone number is leaked or your email is leaked, just the address, you can't really do anything about it eventually.
Right.
You need to realize that if you get an SMS even from the company that was breached or from another company that states your name and your email address and some identifying data about yourself, it doesn't mean this is genuine. They are using this data to reach out for you and make it look genuine. So we just need to be more aware of this. If your phone number was leaked, know that if you see it or get an SMS, it can potentially come from a scam. So this is what you need to do.
Sarah Little Ramos in the chat says, I'm glad you worded it this way, Sarah, because that brings up another thing I wanted to mention. She said, "Dumb question. What are cookies?" I've been trying to figure that out for years. Sarah, it's not a dumb question, and in fact, this is the kind of thing that maybe is preventing more awareness, is by assuming that you should know something and then not asking because you're afraid to ask. Nati, what is a cookie, and how can your social media be hijacked with cookies in your browser without ever having your password leaked?
I'll try to make it short and focused because it's I can talk hours about it. But basically, when you log into your social account on your browser or your application, basically, you give away your password and username, and then you are authenticated against the servers, Facebook servers. Let's say, talk about Facebook specifically. And what they do, they send back a token, like a random string, and tell the browser, save it on your data. Those data points that the server can tell you to store are cookies. This is the technical name. But basically, it's data that is saved on your browser. And once the browser, again, fetches data from Facebook, it will send those cookies out. And then the Facebook see this cookie, they see the value they sent earlier. Okay, this is a good value. This is an authenticated session. I know who you are. I trust you. Here is the data you wanted back. So this is what's going on when you log in to an account. But
it's kind of like how you can stay logged in to the same account for most of us don't log out of Instagram after every single time we use it. You stay logged in on your phone. It's a similar kind of thing, right?
If you had to type in your password on every request you go to any page you see, you just won't use this.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, no one wants to do that.
Exactly.
Well, you actually.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add that what they're doing is using those cookies to store data on your browser. By the way, they can use it for many other types of features, not only for sessions in this case. But once they use it for sessions, the session will be valid for X days and on. And once those days are passed, the cookie is deleted, and then you need to log in again. So the real troublesome issue here is that if someone grabs those cookies from your browser, they can just copy and paste those on their browser and be immediately logged into your account. This is what we call session hijacking or cookie jacking. And we found in the past year many extensions and stealers, malware files that do exactly that. They run on your system, they get the data out of your browser and send it to the threat actors. And then they are using it to log into your accounts and basically steal your Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, etc. One of the biggest issues these days is like the most valuable part of your system for scammers is your cookies.
Well, Ashton, old character Mortimer, when Ashton is scam baiting, and scammers will send you to any desk, and it's like, okay, old man, accept all cookies. And Mortimer, yeah, I love my, okay, it's warm and milk. And it's like, we always always talk about those cookies, but it's not those cookies.
Just like Tuffy said in the chat here, as cookies make her hungry, I concur. Yes, but yeah, there's good cookies and bad cookies, I guess.
Right.
Well, I wanted to move into, because I want to also be respectful of your time, Nati. Thank you for taking the time to do this. And we have a few more, though, I definitely want to make sure we have time for. And the next one is AI. And this actually kind of really segues into our video. We're putting out a video on Saturday. It's in 3 days. That is exclusively about exposing the people that are pretending to be Trilogy Media and scamming our viewers. It happens a lot. In the YouTube comments, they open Telegram accounts and they're pretending to be us. They're targeting people that have already been scammed, promising them money recovery, and scamming them again. And it's vile and it's horrible, and that's what we're doing on Saturday, but it kind of loops right into what we're talking about here, because the more that AI is developing, the more convincing they're going to be able to make it for these people. Now they're not just using our pictures, but they're actually making new pictures, or they're making new videos to talk or use our voice and make things up. And I see it myself on social media, scrolling through from, fake Elon Musk or fake Mr. Beast promising you cryptocurrency by going to xyz.com or whatever it is. So what are the dangers of AI, and what scares you the most about it going forward? And what can the general public do to stay safe as a rule of thumb?
Well, AI is like a huge subject. So let's try to make it specific on scans. We won't talk about Skynet and the metrics or all the other stuff that
we'll save that for next time.
Yeah, it's a long story. But if we are talking about scamming specifically, there are two parts for this risk. First of all is scaling, because basically AI can be like the perfect people, the perfect scammer. If you are really professional in what you do, and you know exactly how to collect data on your victims, we talked about it earlier, and you know exactly what to say and how to create those pages, those phishing pages, and the perfect email, and so on and so on, you can just use AI for that and scale up. You can be like 1,000 people that do the same thing on the same time. So if you know how to do this, teach the AI, and it will do it again and again and again. And basically, they will do it better than us. So this is one really interesting part of the risk. The second one is, like you mentioned, is the generative AI. Because AI, it's not only creating code or making those emails and stuff like that. It's also generating images and sound and music today, and logos and everything else, and it becomes more and more convincing. And I guess that in a year from now, you will not be able to distinguish between what is real and what is not. So this is, in my opinion, the worst part of AI, basically. Because again, we have CGI and we know how to create those crazy films and avatar and so on, but making stuff that look really genuine, really real, only AI can do that, and it started to doing it. So if you get a call from your boss that asks you to send this check to this person on his name, and there is like a story that it happened a few months ago in a company in China, you will do that because you look at the person and it's your boss. It talks like him, it looks like him, This is the real risk here. And I guess someday we'll have to have some kind of way to distinguish between those two. Maybe AI will help us to understand if what we see is real or fake, but we are not there yet. So I guess we will have a very, very interesting year ahead of us.
A couple days
We
ago, Art and I were working on this video. We've been working on it for a while, but we're working with another fellow scam baiter named Agent G9, and he's been able to get access to a lot of these scammers. But he's also been able to identify people that are being scammed by the fake Trilogy guys. And we got we found a victim that was talking to the fake Trilogy guys, and they had taken her money, they had taken her social security number, they convinced her to send a lot of stuff to them, and we were able to get her on the phone. But think about that for a second. It's like you're getting a random call from someone claiming to be the real Trilogy after having just been scammed by the fake Trilogy, and now you have another Trilogy telling you they're the real Trilogy. So it was a real effort for us to actually convince her that we were the real Trilogy, to the point where she was like yelling at us thinking we were another scammer. And so we gave her a Zoom link. We're like, come into the Zoom. I will wave it. I will show you it's me. But we're going to get to a point, we may already even be there already, where that won't be enough, because the scammers can then just create, like 0 Day showed us, in real time live streaming as another person. So it's going to become a real difficult task for Art and I to continue to find ways to be able to verify ourselves to people when the scammers are just going to be trying to be one step ahead every time.
And look how you said it. We have a friend, I'm sorry, Nati, we have a friend, 0 Day, Ryan Montgomery, and he was like, look what is happening right now. The world is moving forward, right? Everybody's new technologies and electric cars, and we're going to Mars, Jupiter, everywhere. And apps not waiting as well. There are so many apps that you literally can go and put filter that you Elon Musk, and you apply that filter in a few seconds, and you can use that filter to call people, to trick people or prank people. But you can prank your friends and neighbors in a kind of in a good vibe, right? Just to like mess around. But scammers are like, okay, I can be Britney Spears, I can be Elon Musk, and I can be Trilogy Media. And it took us actually, I don't know, Ash, 10, 15 minutes to convince that elderly person that we're real Trilogy Media. And even when she saw us during the Zoom conversation, and Ash, and he was like, hey, I'm the one who speaks English. And I was like, hey, I'm the one with the accent. And she was like, yeah, but scammers are with the accent. And I was like, well, there is Nigerian accent, there is Indian accent, I have Eastern European accent. So it took us a while to
How dare you have an accent?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, seriously. But took us a while to convince that person that we're real Trilogy Media. And these apps, it's not helping by making all these filters and all these gadgets that all the bad guys and criminals can apply in seconds.
Exactly. It's like commodity today. You can use this right from your desktop. You don't even need to pay today to use most of those, because the technology is like advancing in a huge steps in the last year, ChatGPT and everything. And we really need to be more aware that those stuff can actually eat us and come to us directly. We can get phone calls from scammers that pretend to be our family members. This is something that can actually happen to every one of us, and we need to be aware. This is the first step, being aware. For the next steps, how to fight back, it's a huge task and a challenge. We're constantly working on it.
We got another question on this topic from Sarah M 4046, and this also ties in a lot. We do a lot of like romance scam investigations where someone's photos are being used to scam someone, but they don't have any control over that. It's like the person that's actually in the photo doesn't even know this is happening. So how can people protect themselves from having their images used? Like, our images all over the place, so it's really difficult. But for someone that may want a more private life than we have served ourselves, how can someone protect themselves from having their images used for deep fake scams or any scams? It's just having their photos used without their permission. How can people do that?
Exactly. Just don't overshare. This is like, we talked about it earlier as well. Don't share your photos and your videos to the entire world. Make it private as much as you can. Because once you do that, I think that these days, you need just one picture or two pictures of your face or a shape and take like few seconds of your speech, and you can totally regenerate yourself with deep fakes. And it's more than enough for scammers to use these techniques. Just don't overshare. And there is nothing really that we can do these days, because I guess that for most people, the harm was already done. They already shared
Right. Right.
photos in the past. And not to talk about, YouTubers and people like you, that this is your job. This is what you do for your daily work, and you can't stop sharing your face and voice. So somewhere in the future, regulation must kick in, and those major leaps with AI need to be not stopped but regulated. It will take time, and I know that the entire world is talking about it, but it will take time, and we need to understand that before it gets regulated, it will get even worse. So we need to prepare ourselves for that and be aware. And I really hope that soon enough, stuff will start to be more regulated.
It reminds me of cryptocurrency, same stuff. It has to be regulated, and little by little, it starts getting regulated on a lot of bases. And back in the days, like even a few years ago, it was absolutely wild, wild west. But now the government, there are a lot of countries that buying bitcoins, and they're holding not only gold but also bitcoins. Especially El Salvador, it's number one country. Like president said, like I'm gonna buy every year $1 million worth of Bitcoin and let it grow for my people. We actually, yes, it has to be regulated. Absolutely. Let's talk about TV. We have a question from Tommy Yelich. Other scams targeting your TV. What you can say about this, Nati?
Well, it's a good question, because we are used for being scammed on our mobile phone and our desktop or browser. But I guess that for many people, most of the day, they are in front of their TV. And
Right.
TVs today are basically like mobile devices. They use Android or other operating systems that we usually use on our mobile. And as such, you can install apps and you can browse the internet. It's basically a computer, so you can be scammed there as well. What we know about are basically scams around the ecosystem of the TV, mainly on streaming. And when you create a new streaming account and you want to activate it, you search Google for how to activate my Amazon Prime or my Netflix, and etc. And then you get to scam pages that will look like the Netflix login page, but they are
Right.
not. And this is a way to grab your details, your password, your email. So this is one quite popular way to scam you. But we also aware that once you can install apps on your television, on your desktop, those apps can be also malicious. I know in the past there were already such examples of apps that are installed on your TV and do creepy stuff, pop in advertisements or stealing your information.
Right.
Basically, the same thing that can happen on your mobile phone. So I don't think it's that popular, because most of our data is on our mobile phone, and this is what they are
Mm-hmm.
after. But I guess that in the future they will find a new creative ways to abuse our TVs as well.
Ashton, remember a couple of years ago, Deo, Pleasant Green, and us, we did video on activating Alexa scam,
Yes.
Exactly.
and same
Well,
stuff.
and that whole scam began, like Natty just explained, from a Google search about a functionality of Alexa. And like you said also earlier on in the interview, you mentioned about trusting the system. And when you search something on Google, oftentimes the first like 3 or 4 results are sponsored ads. They're people that are promoting their, you would think, promoting their legitimate companies and services. So you want to trust that those, you may or may not click on them, but you want to trust that those aren't going to try to rob you, and that was the same thing. It was like a whole fake Alexa operation of going to a call center, but it actually came up like result number 1 on the Google search about activating Alexa. It's terrifying.
It's crazy that you can be a legit company, right? or pretend to be a legit company, you can go on Google, you can pay for advertisement, and you can pay it to scam people. And people will go, and it's like top three searches, and they're like, okay, so if Google is like allowing me to click on this, if Google is actually putting in my face, so it must be legit. But it goes back to square one, what you said, Nati. Do not trust anybody. And that's
Exactly.
how it has to start with everything: computer, TV, buying tickets, buying Alexa. It's, you have to make an extra effort and your own research, making sure you're not gonna fall in this trap.
Exactly. By the way, I think that the best example for what we are talking about is a scam we saw a few months ago, and it's still on, I guess, of a sponsored tweet in Twitter or X that
Mm-hmm.
shows Elon Musk talking about crypto. And
I saw
again,
it. Yep.
yeah, the deep fake and everything, it looks quite good. And he talks about his new company, which is not a crypto company at all, but suggests just come to our company and put some money in, and we will return twice that every hour. And it's Elon Musk sponsored post on his platform. Like, if he's not getting the money from the scam itself, he gets the money from the sponsorship. So it's crazy. And you go to X and you see Elon Musk on a daily basis there. And then they're using the same thing with deep fakes to scam you about other stuff at all. So we really need to be vigilant on anything we do on the internet.
Absolutely.
I'm going to jump to, because I know we've gone over time, but I literally could talk to you for hours about all this because there's so
Yes.
much to learn. I would like to, though, a lot of the questions we've answered have been about cybersecurity in general. I would like to kind of bring it home with a question about Guardio, and I can kind of actually combine two of these questions together. Rosaria8384 asks, is Guardio really that effective? I've been conditioned to believe that ads are almost always scams in general, so it'd be great to see some real-world examples of Guardio actually blocking threats. And then tying that into Lisa Peters' question, which was, are there any new or improved features coming out for Guardio? Which I would love to hear you answer, because unlike many other tools online that we've interacted with or tried before, Guardio is one of the only ones I've seen that has so many frequent updates about features. It's not just one tool. It's not just like you won this or won that. It's like you guys are constantly adding new things as like an arsenal, like a tool belt. So yes, if you combine those, talk about Guardio's effectiveness and then into what's coming soon for Guardio.
Okay, well, first of all, of course, I'm a bit biased about Guardio, but if we talk about specifically ads, and again, the entire ecosystem of the internet is based on ads, different kind of ads. You don't even always realize that what you're looking at is an advertisement of sponsored content. And this goes again for search results, like we talked about, and posts in Facebook or other social media, and even in more places we're really not aware of at all that we are being targeted by advertisements. What we see in the past few years is those targeted systems for advertisements are used by scammers. It's easy for them to target the specific victim they need. They need elderly that have computer problems. Great, let's create an ad on Google that for people that are looking for, my computer is stuck or something bad happened to my computer. And they are all the elderly from this and that region in the USA. And that's all they need. Those people will click on the link that looks like the Microsoft tech support. And you, of course, know best what's going on to come next. So it's kind of our challenge here at Guardio to try to distinguish between relevant, real advertisements and those that are being used for scamming. And really, this is the top one vector for attacks in the internet today. And just an example, if you see a page that tries to sell the new sneakers for you, if you want to buy those sneakers, how would you understand if this advertisement is for the real sneakers or for a fake e-commerce site that will just steal your money? And this is what we do here. And for that, we have a huge division of cybersecurity researchers and analysts that scan this data on a daily basis. They look at the entire internet and always try with new tools and also machine learning and buzzword AI tools. Try to make new ways to be one step ahead of the
Right.
scammers and try to find those anomalies and to detect those kind of scams where they begin. Like you also said earlier, you usually know when you were scammed, but you have no idea how you came to this page, how you came to this phone call or whatever. So this is what we do. We try to realize how those threat actors work and find the initial point of propagation to stop it there. So giving real examples, I have millions of examples, but we can't do this right now. But we talked about many of those today, search results, sponsored posts, or even not sponsored, by the way, on social media that share information about crypto, about products, whatever. And of course, fake news is also being used for that. So everything is a good example. Emails, by the way, it's like the oldest protocol of them all. It's like, I think, more than 40 years old or even 50 years old. And it's on everything that is related for security is like the worst platform ever. And this is also something that we started here at Guardio more than a year ago, and it just keeps on giving. We always find new issues there, and again, one of the biggest vectors for attack. So this is what we do here at Guardio. This is what we are responsible for. This is what we do best. And also you said that we always create new features. And the reason for that is because the other side, the scammers, they always try to innovate as well because they want to be
Right.
a step ahead of us. This is our responsibility to be two steps ahead of them. So if we know that something new is going to happen, AI, for example, or a new platform is being introduced, we will be there first. And if we are talking about genuine vectors like emails and SMSs, we are already there. But again, once we realize that search results are also a main vector, we also created a system that will detect all those suspicious search results as well. Social media as well. And by the way, one of our latest features is specifically for cookie jacking that we also talked about earlier. Like a really great patent we created here to be part of your extension and make sure that those cookies or those tokens saved under those cookies won't be detected by scammers, by malicious stealers running on your system. So basically, this is what we do here. We always find new ways. And I think this is like the first time for myself as a cybersecurity researcher, that the backlog is like huge. You can always find something new to research, to threat hunt. It just keeps on giving, which is
I
a good
have
thing
the
for me, of course. Not
Yeah.
so good for the world, I guess.
It's a bad thing that you guys constantly need to continue developing new things because scammers and technology is moving forward. So you have to move forward to be one step ahead. I use this app on my cell phone. It's called ESPN, so you can watch highlights of any sports events, right? In Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, North America. And every single time when I want to watch highlights, there is always like advertisement, and they give you option to skip. And when I will click on skip, it immediately brings me to that advertisement. And I will get, I'm not even kidding you how many times I will get immediately notification from Guardio saying malicious activity or malicious website. And I was like, yep, Guardio is already like 3 seconds ahead of that before I even click on that advertisement.
Exactly.
Well, Nati, I that was the fastest hour in the world. But
Wow,
I would,
it's been an hour. Wow,
I would love to do these again. And if you're watching, I mean, of course, we can't get to
We
every
should.
single question, but this has been so much fun, and I just want to thank Natty and the entire team at Guardio for even taking the time. Like, who does that? Like, what
No,
other
nobody.
cybersecurity company is actually making efforts to share free education out there? thank you all for being here. Nati, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say? Any other last minute tips? Anything that people can take away from this, or calls to action that they can do?
First of all, get Guardio if you don't have it.
Do it.
Let's say that. But anyways, just be vigilant. Try to understand what is the issue, why you are being approached, why you get this message. You can be scammed all around. Make sure you understand how they work, so you will be more safe.
And don't click on any random links when it's come from Costco, from Best Buy. Somebody want to give you something. Banks, you see a random link from random number, delete it, report it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you all again for joining us. Head over to guard.io/trilogy. You'll get a discount for trying it out. 7 days for free. Scan for data leaks. Do all the good things and protect yourself and your entire family. Nati, once again, thank you so much. If you're watching the playback on this, still leave comments. We're going to keep making lists of these questions, and maybe we'll do more of these if you guys want. This has been so much fun. Also, just got word from the Guardio team that they're taking names for the merch winners that they're giving away, and it will be announced tomorrow in the Facebook group here. So make sure you're staying joined here in the Looks Fishy Facebook group. They'll announce the winners in this group tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Look forward to more of these, hopefully very soon. And Nati, once again, thank you so much for your time and for your education.
Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing you soon again. Thank you, Guardio. We'll love you.
Thank you guys again very much, and we'll catch you in the next stream.